Your realtor should have more than just a lockbox key. I've spent 15 years curating relationships that open doors.
Welcome to Community News Podcast, Pillars of the Community. I'm Harry Gottlieb, and today we have a very special guest from the University of Miami Museum, Lowe Museum, related to Lowe Hotel.
I'll tell you the story.
Okay, I want to hear that. But we're here to celebrate extroverted individuals like we have today, businesses, institutions that support and benefit our community. So, Tola Porter.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Tola Porter. Harry, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm coming from the Lowe Art Museum at the University of Miami. This institution has been serving our community for 76 years.
That's amazing.
Founded in 1950. And for the last decade or so, we've been free to the community. So all the hours that we're open, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 10 to 4, the museum is open and free for the public.
But you welcome donations.
Of course, we welcome donations. There's a cash box out front, and we would love for you to become a member and sign up to be part of our community at the Lowe.
May I ask approximately how many guests or people that come and visit you on a monthly basis or a yearly basis?
Yearly basis, it's about 20,000. So we do have a significant uptick. I know that yesterday was a very quiet day at the museum. Our summers, like many institutions in South Florida, are quieter. It's a little bit of a downtime. The university is out, right? Students are not around. So that's actually an incredible time to come to the Lowe. Air-conditioned, gorgeous art, plenty of space, welcoming staff.
And conveniently located to the Metro Rail station.
Absolutely. You can walk if you're adventurous.
It's not
like
that
Harry.
far. It's maybe like 2 or 3 blocks.
It's really not very far.
And it's pretty, and there's lots of trees, and it's the campus, and it's just a wonderful place to be.
The campus is exquisite. It's wonderful to come on that campus. Everyone is welcome on that campus, by the way. There is actually like a gatehouse on Stanford Drive that can be a little off-putting.
Could be a little intimidating, but not necessarily. The people are very friendly, and they welcome you.
Come on through. There's nobody checking whether you're coming in or not.
So what percentage would you say are children that come to the museum? And do you work with the Children's Trust?
So the Children's Trust, I don't believe that we do. We have anything officially going on with them. Our collaborations are mostly with Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Title I schools, and all of the other schools as well. So we organize special visits for over 3,500 school children every year. We have a core of docents, about 25 of the most intelligent and engaged older women and a few men who are giving back to the community for free. There are volunteers, and they're extremely knowledgeable. Many of them are former school teachers, and so they love to engage with the kids of our community and bring them through the schools, bring them through the museum.
So let's educate the public a little bit about the collection. It's how many square feet is the building, first of all?
So we're about 30,000 square feet.
That's huge.
When you come to the front, it looks actually quite small.
Yes.
But it's a huge donut shape. And
yes.
So there's a lot going on back there. We have 7 permanent collection galleries where you can see art from ancient Mediterranean, so Greece and Rome, the Renaissance and the Baroque era. That is very rare in South Florida. We have arts of Africa, arts of Asia.
Arts of Cuba.
Arts of Cuba. That's our special exhibition. I'm getting there last. Arts of the Indigenous Americas and Meso.
You have a totem pole there. I thought I was in Seattle.
I know. So the 2 artists from a tribe in outside of Seattle came to the Lowe in the 1990s to carve that actually at the museum.
No.
Yes.
That was not brought down from Seattle. That was carved.
It was carved here.
Oh, I wish I had seen that.
Isn't that incredible? Me too. Some of the docents remember, and they told me.
What year was that? Do you have any idea?
In the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And where do they get the tree from?
So it's a cedar. It like the whole entire totem pole is one cedar,
No.
tree. except for the wings. The wings of the raven are added on.
It's magnificent. It reminded me of my trip to Seattle.
That's really neat.
So the collection is really eclectic because you've got old masters.
Yep.
You've got iconic images of Christ. You've got contemporary pieces. You have this one that's got shoes in it, which I thought was very clever. There's a pair of shoes. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, that's in the Cuban show.
Yes.
Yeah, the chancletas.
You've got the chancletas, which I remember. And my sister lives in the Dominican Republic, and when the housekeepers were trying to discipline the children, they would take off their shoes and throw them at them.
Oh boy,
that's how they disciplined them. So we know about chancletas.
Yes.
But I was also just blown away by how do you say Fernando Lam? Wilfredo Lam. And his artwork is absolutely stunning.
Yep.
And I believe that I've been told that he is considered the Picasso of Cuba.
In fact, in 1940, he had an invitation to visit Picasso, and he did. He was already over in Europe. He was in Spain, and he got a letter of introduction to go meet Picasso in Paris. And he went up, and Picasso said, "You're like my brother, the way you make art." And so there was a deep intermingling of their practices. Picasso had already moved well into Cubism, which he'd done in the early 1900s, and here we're talking about 1940. So surrealism and all of those modernist practices were a real language that they traded in. So truly, Wilfredo Lam is the Picasso of Cuba, but he's his own artist. I mean, it's very important to realize that he infused an Afro-Cubanismo, a visual language of
good accent, by the way,
jungle. Thank you, into his art, and so that's his major contribution. Those works are in the show that I think really knocked you out, and I'd like to speak for a second about that special exhibition.
Yes.
So there's actually two shows that are companion shows. The first is called El Pasado Mío, My Own Past, and it is a show about Afro-descendant artists, okay? So artists who consider themselves Afro-Cuban, right? Wilfredo Lam was the son of a mulatto woman and a man from China. Many people don't realize that there were indentured servants that came on boats from China who were not technically slaves, but it was all men who were brought over to work the sugarcane fields, right? And so it was only men. So they met the women who were local and there, and they got together. So Wilfredo Lam's father is from Guangzhou, China, and his mother is an Afro-Cuban.
Did not know that at all.
Yeah. And his godmother, importantly, Mantonica Wilson, was an incredible Shango priestess of Santeria religion, right? So all of this mix is coming together, and that rich, rich history is on view in that show.
Did you know this before you arrived here in South Florida?
I didn't know this before the show got here. You know, there's a ton of education that goes in to those of us who need to talk about the show to the public. So this, you know, I mean, I love my job. Can you imagine?
I can see
this
that.
Would be
I can see your enthusiasm.
Work? Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. So I learn so much, and then I get to share it with those who come to visit.
So as I was walking through the museum, exploring the museum on my own, you were busy, so I didn't have a personal guide, but I forgive you.
Next time.
I forgive you. And I'm walking around and I'm seeing all this amazing artwork, really high quality artwork. And then I come across the Lams.
Yeah.
And I knew of the Lams because I know a little bit about Gary Nader and his gallery up in the Wynwood area. And I know that he specializes in that, and also Carlos Botero. And that this artwork is extremely desirable by well-heeled Cubans that live in South Florida, and very much in demand. And then I saw two pieces, the first two pieces that I saw, and I thought, this is wonderful. I was really blown away by the two pieces. And then I kept walking through the museum, and I saw another 5 or 6 and I couldn't believe that they were not all together in the same room, but I couldn't believe that you had such an amazing collection. Are these all from one individual that donated them, or are they on loan, or did you buy them? What's the story with that?
So the two special shows, they are, we do have several Wilfredo Lambs in the Lowe's collection, but not the ones that are on view. Okay, so these are paintings. They're monumental paintings. They're important paintings from Wilfredo Lamb's oeuvre, and some of them are from the collection of Ramon and Nercis Cernuda, who is a family that's owned a gallery here and have dealt in Cuban modernist art for many, many years. Right on Ponce. If anyone needs to go to Cernuda Arte to buy some wonderful Cuban art, that's where they are, and they have loaned works from their own private collection to be on view. Okay, so in one gallery, there are 3 there that you would have seen, and then in the special exhibition in the back, there are 3 more there that you would have seen. So in the back, it's Afro-Cuban artists, and in the Cernuda gallery, it is sort of more well-known Cuban artists actually who don't happen to be Afro-Cuban, but they are working in the Afro-Cuban visual language, and the link is Wilfredo Lamb, just like you noticed.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So I walked around. I saw all this amazing art. The last time I had been into the museum had been several years ago, and I really had not gone exploring throughout the museum. So this time was really quite amazing. When I finished my tour, I went into the Sheldon and Myrna Paley Pavilion, which I knew very well because I was friends with them years ago. We were all on the executive committee of the Miami Film Festival. And once a year, they would invite the executive committee to come to their house to have an evening with cocktails and food, and lots of food. They had caterers from, I think they were students from the University of Miami.
I believe it.
As a matter of fact, now that I think of it. And they had all this art all over the place, this very expensive.
All over the place.
It was cluttered. It was just too much.
And you're worried you're going to
You're afraid you're going to knock into it. Yes. And we're talking about Dale Chihuly artwork and all kinds of stuff that, just really impressive artwork. And they had a personal relationship with all of these artists.
Absolutely.
And then I found out that they donated, or they lent, I think they donated the building, or they donated the artwork to your...
So both things. So the Palleys funded a wing to the museum to focus on glass and ceramic art. And that is the most up-to-date recent addition to the museum. And it's just gorgeous. Glass art really welcomes light.
Yes.
Unlike so many other types of art, painting, you can't get it too light. Certainly prints, you don't want too much light, but glass shines. So the walls of the pavilion are actually like half walls with glass on either end.
So you can see them from both sides.
That's right. And all this light pours in. So it's a beautiful space. And, there are thousands of objects of glass, art, and ceramic in that space. Many of them from the Paley collection, some of them from other important collections in South Florida, like Bob Werner and others. And so it's a beautiful place. Now, in addition to that wonderful gallery, they also have funded a biannual lecture series. So twice a year, every year, a new glass artist comes to the Lowe and gives a free public lecture. So you can learn so much about glass art, and then there's a fabulous reception afterward. So it's just a wonderful night at the Lowe, and it really showcases their commitment to community education and to the field of glass art.
When is the next one being programmed?
The next one is October 8th. Everyone come. Dan Daly. It's going to be gorgeous.
What's the date? Do you know the date?
October 8th.
October the 8th. Will you send me an announcement?
For sure. Definitely.
Well, we'll spread the word. So I'd like to share with you a little story.
Yes.
Years ago, my niece, Victoria, was studying French in Paris. She's from the Dominican Republic. So she wanted to go to Paris, and she was kind enough to invite me, her mother, my older sister, and one of her brothers. And we all went over there to spend time with her. And she took us to all these wonderful places. She loves chocolate, so we got to go to all the places to have chocolate this, chocolate that. It was wonderful. But then she took me to a museum. And in the museum, there was an exhibition of Matisse. And I've always loved Matisse. And I'm walking through the museum, And I noticed that there's a child sitting on the floor with an adult, and they're looking at what appears to be a cartoon book or a comic book.
Okay.
And they're standing in front. They're sitting in front of a piece of art, a piece of Matisse. And the woman that's with her is asking her to look at the book and look at the painting and see the object in the painting. Where is it in the book? Mm-hmm. So she is relating to the book, which is not really a comic book. It's more like a guidebook that has pictures of the paintings that are there. So this young girl, this young, sweet, charming young girl with a French accent, no less, and very well behaved, she is focused on this book and the painting, and she is becoming entranced with it, and she's going to have this lifetime experience that she's related to this painting. Whenever she sees this painting, she's going to remember her youth, whatever age she is. And I was thinking, isn't that wonderful, that interrelationship that this museum set up for this child to have. And I've never seen that anywhere else.
Well, so the types of engagement, we have a very special method that we use with children and also the general public. And I personally love this method because I think it really invites the viewer to bring their own personal history and story to a work of art. It's called visual thinking strategies. It's very well-known best practices for museums to use. And it's very simple. And it invites the child or whomever to just tell you what's going on with this work of art. And they can tell you. I mean, children see everything. And instead of running through the museum and exploring every single darn thing and trying to memorize dates and seeing, you just can focus on one or two works of art. And they interpret it for you, and they never forget it. They never forget it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So how many children have you seen come through the museum recently?
Oh my gosh. Well, right now we have Beaux-Arts Summer Camp. So there are 35 campers in our art making space. We have a large pavilion in the back of the museum that you didn't even see. Okay. So we'll go there next time. And it's a wet dry studio. So we can have camp in there. We can have all kinds of art projects in there and not bring the mess into the museum. You could be a kid in that space. You know, you can get messy and you can have lunch and you can hang out. So it's an amazing space. And maybe that can transition to who the Beaux-Arts people are. So we've got camp going on right now. And during the school year, we will have 2 to 3 groups of kids coming every single week. Every single week.
When I was in the pavilion, the Paley Pavilion, there was a round object, and it looked like it was once used for cable.
Yes.
And it's like a spool, a gigantic cable spool that perhaps it was donated.
Here's what it is. So there, and I'll have to look up the name of the artist. He was a professor of glass making at a university. And he had each one of his students make one of those brown pucks, the brown glass pucks that were connected on a kind of lattice of wire. So each student made one of these glass pucks connected to this wire, and they spooled the whole thing on this big steel spool circle. And so it's really an offering of each student to a larger work of art that they finished within their semester.
But it's a repurposing of the cable spool that you see that's used a lot by, is it MASS, M-A-S-S, MASS Cable or Mass Communications? They lay cable for for internet and things like that all over the place. So I've seen these big spools, and I've actually seen a few of them used as chandeliers. They would put them up on the ceiling and have different objects hanging from them. So tell me about your passion. How did you get into this? How did you end up here in South Florida?
So I, in my graduate school career, I went from arts administration to art history, and I had come from another world. I had come from just a corporate background, and I had gotten the opportunity to go back to graduate school as a little bit more of a grown up, right? So my passion is really one of a person who can't believe they get to do this. I just can't believe I get to do this. So I continued on and did my PhD in modern sculpture, focusing on public art. So I really love to think about how people interact with art. What's it for? What does it do? What's its value? When does it get ignored, right? Because often public art can get forgotten about over a period of time. So can we reawaken this thing? Can we bring it back to have more value for the people? And so when this position as an assistant director for education came available, I thought, well, that's perfect for me. So I love translating the artwork that's in the museum and the artwork that's on the campus for all of our audiences. I also really emphasize academic engagement. As a doctor of art history, I'm very interested in the value of an academic learning experience for students. So we have many, many academic engagement programs, including fine art of healthcare, art of athletic excellence, and all kinds of specific curriculum-focused tours.
Tell me about the exhibition at the front of the museum that's laminated.
Okay, so I think you mean the Dustin Yellen psychogeography.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Tell me about that.
Sure.
And I was trying to understand how it was done.
Oh.
And I saw that there are layers of
That's
glass
right.
that are laminated together.
Yes.
From the side you can tell.
Yeah.
And then I asked one of the young ladies that was in the front if she could explain a little bit about that. And she was saying to me, I thought that they were images, maybe that they were photograph images. And she said, no, that they're painted or that they're paper mache.
It's collage.
A collage.
It's collage. So collage from a newspaper or from a magazine and paint on each of those layers. So what was it? Something like 20, 30 layers per. So it's 3,000-pound sculptures. That's what it
glass.
is. 3,000-pound sculptures. Okay, in that room. And each one has a kind of human form inside the glass made up of this collage.
One looks like twigs.
Yes.
With an opening in the center.
That's right.
It's
each one
very
has,
surrealistic.
Absolutely. And that one is called The Willow Next Door. The Willow Next Door.
But it's not a branch. There's not any tree involved in it.
Right.
No trees were harmed in this process.
No trees were harmed. It's just visual. Then there's one that might be a little dystopic with the earth pulling apart and people kind of climbing down. And there's a huge volcano happening.
There's three of them, correct?
Yep. And then the last one is a really beautiful depiction of marine life that's kind of vortexing up with an octopus as the kind of central brain at the top.
So how did this come about? How did he discover you or you discover him?
So Dustin Yellen is quite a well-known artist. He has a large studio in Brooklyn, and it's also an exhibition space. He's kind of a big deal. And he knows us because through the director, through Art Basel, through the ways that you make connections in the art world. Dr. Jill Dupy is our executive director and chief curator. And, she's very involved in the art world and meets these amazing artists and goes on studio visits very frequently. So she will have visited his studio and tried to understand his practice and said, would you like to show some of those here? And this show specifically up front is actually very strongly supported by the Pallies because of the glass.
Oh.
Yes. So again, the Pallies have given us something really spectacular.
But this is on loan. This is not purchased.
It's a temporary exhibition.
How long will it be there?
For actually, I believe now until August of next year, a long time.
So I encourage everybody to go out there and see it as soon as possible. It's really an amazing exhibition. The whole place is just amazing. And it's so conveniently located. It's so comfortable to be there. Everybody feels very comfortable to be there and walk and see what's going on, that we need to encourage more people to go.
For sure.
To go.
You're welcome to be with us. Our Cuban shows are up until September 12th. You have all summer to come visit.
You got to bring some music.
Yeah. Well, on Fridays, we do put music in, so maybe we should do that more frequently.
Maybe live music, like a flamenco dancer or something.
Well, we do have the Frost School of Music, and we've had some of those students come over and play.
Ooh, that's correct.
That sounds fun.
Some classical guitar would be nice. Be a nice touch. So before we go, would you like to explain to the audience where your first name came from?
Oh, sure. It's my grandmother's name, and her parents were Tom and Laura. They took T-O from Tom and L-A from Laura, and they made her name. And so I got a family name, but it also happened to be kind of strange.
Was it difficult having that name as you were growing up?
Absolutely.
But now you embrace it, of course.
Yes. I mean, I loved my grandmother, so I'm delighted to have any connection with her, even though she's gone.
And how are you enjoying South Florida?
I love it. I live in the Grove. I mean, you can't beat it.
You can't beat it.
My commute is not terrible. There's a tree canopy. There's a history to the Grove. We met at the Women's Club.
Yes, the Women's Club is a classic.
It's a classic, and so I'm so grateful to be a part of that institution.
Have you discovered the Tropical Audubon Society?
No, not yet.
Okay, so if you like the Women's Club, the architecture of the Women's Club, which, by the way, it was designed by Walter D'Agamo.
Okay.
There's a house on 57th Avenue, or very close to 57th Avenue in Sunset, that it's owned and operated by the Tropical Audubon Society, the people that love the birds, right? Yeah. Which are going to be here in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And they have a historic house also. It wasn't designed by D'Agamo. It was actually older. I think it was like from the 1800s or something like that. But it's really worth seeing. And if you like birds or you are a naturalist, you will love this house and the foliage that's in the back. And the people that go there are people that care about the environment.
Wonderful.
So we have something in common.
Absolutely. And they should come to the Lowe and
have
a peaceful inside moment.
So want to thank you very much for being here. We want to encourage everybody to go to the museum as much as possible. You want to tell us a little bit about volunteerism? Do you welcome people to volunteer?
So we do have a volunteer docent corps. It's a rather rigorous process to become part of that. But we will be recruiting for 1 or 2 new members. We like to keep it small.
Okay.
But if you're a former teacher and you love working with K through 12 children, feel free to reach out to us.
And how can they get in touch with you?
So my email, that's the best way to get in touch. It's just tolaporter@miami.edu.
And there you have it, everybody. We want to thank you very much for tuning in. We want to remind everybody that you too can be involved in your community, or you too must be involved in your community. It's very important that you partake, you go to commission meetings, that you voice your opinion, especially about zoning, traffic, and any crime, and that you make your government work for you. And last but not least, keep in mind that you don't want to ask what your community can do for you, but what you can do for your community. I think that's plagiarism, is that not?
You changed it enough.
I changed it enough? Okay, so I won't be sued. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.